Hey ladies, so it is Wednesday and we are going to talk about how to spot the secret sugars. And so this is something that I struggle with as well. And that added sugar can be found in all packaged foods under more than 60 different names. And here are 26 common aliases that you should know and not necessarily avoid, but limit, try to not have them as your sole source of those sugars. Really, your natural sugars, like I said, you want to try and keep that with your fruit. So, and they're in no particular order. Actually, they're just alphabetical order, really. And the first one is my newest favorite one, and it is, and I'm sort of kind of bummed, but I don't do any other. I don't do honey, and I've been trying to do a little less agave nectar. But brown rice syrup is my number one new fave. But it is probably, I guess they use more sugar, even though it's not as sweet in compared to agave nectar. So that's why I only sparingly put it either in my tea, which I really need to do, or I put it on top of my plain Greek yogurt. So those, again, you just want to limit these as I list them. Cane sugar, cane juice, corn sweetener, corn syrup. I only use corn syrup during the holidays, and I do not feel guilty at all when I do that. Crystalline fructose, dextran, dextrose, diacetyl malt powder, right? You're going to be like, what the hell are those? That's exactly why we stay away from them. Ethyl maltol, evaporated cane juice, fruit juice concentrate, galactose, glucose, high fructose corn syrup. And honestly, for me, I am sort of conflicted with it. I think that's okay, obviously within moderation. I think any of these things are okay within moderation. You just don't want these to be your number one source of sugar. Malt syrup, maltodextrin, maltose. Oat syrup, panela, panocha, raw sugar, right? Rice bran syrup, sorghum, sucrose, tapioca sugar, and treacle. I'm not sure. I don't ever see that in any of my ingredients. So those are the 26 names, common aliases that you're going to see on the boxes of your, foods. And you want to just try and limit them as much as you can. And if you need to, sometimes you just have to, educate yourself, do a little bit of research, and Google some of the other ingredient names to really figure out what is the actual source. What is it derived of? Is it a sugar? Is it just, is it a chemical? Is it another component? Is it a alternative to flavorings? Is it a coloring? All that kind of stuff. We need to be a little bit more proactive and not just relying and trusting the food manufacturers. Their main purpose is not necessarily for health, it is for taste and cost. So once we get that in our heads and know that they are marketing to us, fat-free, 100% whole grain, or not, they might even not put 100%, they just put whole grain. And then they just, then they don't put that there's also refined grains in there too, and tons of high sugar. But as long as we said whole grains, that's a trigger word. That's a word that everyone's throwing out these days that's popular, just like fat-free was back in the day when I was in high school. Doesn't mean that it's any healthier, because it might mean that they had to put other ingredients in there to get it to be that way. So hopefully these 26 gave you a quick little 5-second way in order to walk around your the grocery store and help you quickly read through those ingredient lists. And if you need to, sometimes you just got to put it in your phone and have that list there with you. So once you start to do this on a more regular basis, you won't need it. You'll have memorized it and you'll know exactly where to go and what to avoid. So thank you guys, and hopefully you are enjoying all these little tidbits that I'm sharing with you. This is just knowledge, and again, trial and error. For the past 3 years, I've been really diving in and figuring this out and trying to break it down as far as what's good, what's not good, how it can help to make other people more successful so that they can have less errors in their journey and really continue and start off strong and not have to make so many mistakes right off the bat. So thank you guys. And if there's any other questions you have, there's any topics or anything that you want to learn a little bit more or for myself to expand upon, please feel free. Comment below, send me a message, or just post something in the group. I'm sure if you're thinking of it, there's probably at least 3 to 5 others who are thinking the same thing. Thank you guys and have a fabulous day.